evening and welcome to Being Black and Craft, where we don't apologize for recognizing our influence on craft beer. This is Angie, the undeniable vixen, your host. We have a great duo guest this evening, but I have a lot of beer news to share, so let's get into it. So, took off because I was in New Orleans the week before, went to Barrels on the Bayou, and it was a great first kickoff as far as having the barrel and flow kind of vibe and feeling over in New Orleans. One thing that I really appreciate is that it was closer. It didn't cost me a lot of money to get there compared to Pittsburgh, which I love going to Pittsburgh, but it is a haul. And I could actually go out of the country for the cost of a ticket to go to Pittsburgh. And I still don't get it. I still do not get why Pittsburgh is so high. But nevertheless, because of Pittsburgh and because of the love of craft beer, cider, meads, as well as liquor, we got to have Barrel on the Bayou in New Orleans. And so we had a time. It was really, really great. First up was the first night, Friday night is like the normal bottle share. So we had the bottle share, came and tasted some stuff. Dave's talking, just really, I think he was overwhelmed because there was so much strife and kind of pushing with New Orleans and other festivals that were going on, because there was a free festival going on and there was a little bit of pushback and kind of, it was just tense. So just to have it go ahead and actually happen, I think was a well relief, and seeing all the people that came from wherever, I'm sure that really made him happy. So we had beer, we had liquor, we had cider, we had the works. And that was Friday night. Now, and Saturday was all day drinking. So of course, my liver said, just a sip, because I wanted to be okay for the grand finale Saturday. So got to meet some people that I've only known online, past the hops, and I got to see old favorites like Hannah with Dope, Off the Wall Brewing, and someone else that we talked to on the show, as well with Jen Price with Crafted for Action. And Ancestors and Alcohol, somebody else that I've never really met in person, but has been in a big part of when I was doing the old time drinks. We were doing the old club drink. That's who I was doing it with. And Melissa, and then Rita from Houston. So we had the gamut of people all across the country: Houston, Atlanta, I think South Carolina, and Douglas and his partner. And then, had some great music, amazing music. He always says he pays people. I won't say the exact word he says, but he pays people, put it like that. And we had violinists that was just like jumping off the stage and just working his magic. Amazing singers. And then Joe, who is a fan favorite because he's from Fort Worth. So we know we had to rep for Joe, and he did a great job. And thanks again to Dave for everything that he's doing with the culture, for the culture, and making sure that we're seen and heard, and that people appreciate what we're doing in the community for beer and all fermentation. So big shout out to Dave and his team for getting that off to a great start. And I'm really excited for next year. So I saw this, and I don't know if this is a joke or not. I haven't looked, but it seems plausible. Anything seems plausible right now. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Hennessy as an RTD? I thought RTDs were going away anyway. I thought they were. But who knows? But apparently there's one there's supposed to be a release, an iced tea, a berry flavor, and a Rita flavor 20 ABV, I can just see this being some kind of sugary Kool-Aid, make you sick kind of stuff. But y'all tell me how it is. I'm not buying any, but y'all tell me how it is. Then who's going to be coming on the show next week. We have, it is, oops, my camera went off. It is Brother Whiskey. So they have a inaugural open commission for Brother Whiskey, and Art Bay proudly presents Luxury Unbound. So what they're looking for is artists that are 21 and up to submit their works to explore the luxury without limits, profound expression of culture, identity, and freedom, and elevated perspective. So they're going to get 10 artists that will be selected, and they're going to be able to do some live activations as well as their pieces, and kind of give them a home to show their art, have a little drink, and then also be able to have that platform to sell their art, which is great because, there's always starving artists. So the art show is going to be May 16th at the Speakeasy and Art event in front of a large audience, and they're going to have dinner with Brother Whiskey pairing. And so the deadline for submission is going to be May 12th at 5 p.m. And you can enter if you know someone or you are someone that is art enthusiast. I need to make sure that I forward this to the Art Bay online, ARTBAE online.com/Brother Whiskey. But you can also go to Brother Whiskey, give them a follow, and check them out. Then, of course, friends of the show, we have Jen Price, who is going to be doing a webinar for Pink Boots Society called The Long Pour, Ask Me Anything. So Jen Price, a beer educator, author, Cicerone certified beer server, and the founder of Crafted for Action and Craft Fellows. She's breaking barriers as creator of the first craft beverage conference founded by a BIPOC woman, has supported 14 BIPOC-owned beverage ventures, and was named Wine Enthusiast 2024 Future 40. So if beer education, community, and inclusivity are your thing, you don't want to miss this. So this is a webinar that is exclusively for Pink Boots members. So if you're not a member, become a member, and you can watch this webinar. But I wanted to share this with you because if you aren't a member, make sure that you check out Crafted for Action, because she is selling tickets for that. That's coming up in June, where you can be in person in Atlanta, or you can do virtually and get some classes, some educations that way as well. Then congratulations for Black Orchid Brewing. Their 2-year anniversary is going to be coming up on May 16th. So we're raising a glass to another incredible year of great beer, good vibes, and amazing community that makes it all possible. From your first sip to your 100th visit, you've been a part of our history. Join us as we celebrate a new beer releases, music, and your favorite pours, food, and raffles. So we can't wait for you to come and celebrate with us. So check out Black Orchid if you're in that area. Make sure you give them a follow. And Urban Garden, who is transitioning, and they have their new space, and they're in DC. And so right now they're looking for a head brewer. So if you know someone that's in the DC area, make sure you send them over to Urban Garden and fill out an application and see what happens. You never know. Then we have Soul Mega, and they're doing a golf kind of registration with Elevate. So this is going to be one that you wish that you didn't miss. The Elevate Foundation Golf Tournament is filling up, and the energy this year is different. Not just a tournament, a room full of people who get it, community connection, and an opportunity on May 30th is about who is in the space and how much you want to see what happens on the courts. and they're trying to raise $50,000 for scholarships. So shout out to Soul Maker, who's also in that little DC area as well. Then we're calling out for vendors. If you're in the Oklahoma area, the Juneteenth on the East, they're looking for vendors. So check out Juneteenth on the East and see if you can be a vendor, or if you know someone that's close by that, Oklahoma's not a long drive for them, or they can fly out to do that. I think it would be a great event, and I'm going to look forward to that a little bit further because that's coming up in June. Then another friend of the show, Ego Tequila. So now Ego Tequila is available at Specs in Houston. I know that she's Dallas based, so you can get Ego here, but now she's able to venture out in Houston. She's done, Ego Tequila has done some rebranding. They kind of stepped back, did some rebranding, and so they're putting their first, their best foot forward now, and she's off to a great start. Make sure that you follow Ego Tequila, Black owned, woman owned, amazing tequila. It's really good. Then if you haven't heard of Delta Dirt, which is a phenomenal kind of whiskey that's out of Arkansas. So they said you asked for it and we answered. Starting Saturday, April 11th, Sweet Roots is coming in 2 sizes. So you see the little mini bottle, the 375 will say exclusively to the distillery now, but fingers crossed they may go ahead and put that out in distribution for in the surrounding area. So if you're like, hey, I want to get a little bottle, I can't, put that in my luggage, you can get that little bottle and swing on in there. It's we usually have that in June for when we do the liquor share here, and that's some really nice and smooth. It's really, really good. I really, really enjoyed this liquor, Delta Dirt, and the history behind it, the extenuant over and over the generations that have continued to keep this story alive with Delta Dirt. It's really good. Make sure you give them a follow too. Then if you are going to Clinkfest, you want to rep with some merch, go to clinkfest.com. They have new merch out there, and I believe she's giving discounts like 20 or 30% on some tees. And I won't be going this year, but I'm thinking I might just give me a shirt just to rep and support. And when I get over to going to do more festivals, because this is Barrels on the Bayou was my last festival for the year. I'm not doing anything because I traveled so much last year. I want to just sit at home and read and be with my dog. So then I have this picture. It was actually a video. So 23rd Avenue Brewery, they closed and now they reopened. If you're in Seattle, they're having their grand opening. It looks like they're in the same spot. I'm not sure what really happened, but I'm so glad that they were able to open back up, and they are excited, and you need to go and check them out. 23rd Avenue Brewery. And that's all that I have for the news, I do believe. So let me go ahead and invite my guests up. All right. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Very well.
Well.
Awesome. So just to let you know, it is recording.
Okay.
I make sure that it is recording. So just to let my audience know, we had an amazing time, I believe, in December. We had just, we talked. And I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and hit the button so I can go ahead and download this audio. And I was like, oh, it's not there. So I made sure that I had that. I don't know. I think I've done that twice. Because I'm just like into whatever's going on, and it's like it just happens.
That's how good the conversation was.
Hey, the conversation was
Yeah.
stellar, but we do understand technical difficulties.
Oh my goodness.
We've had our fair share. Our fair share.
Well, I just want to reintroduce everyone to the Liquor Connoisseur, Crystal and Roger, and they have a podcast as well. And so let me just start, just briefly tell the audience about how you decided to do the Liquor Connoisseur back in 2020. What happened?
We really wanted to start our own brand, but that was a lot of money and not a great time to start one. But a lot of people actually did.
Yeah, a lot of people started then. We weren't quite ready.
Yeah. So we were like, well, we've been teaching our friends how to drink. Let's just teach other people and build this audience up. And then by the time we're ready to build a brand, we'll have an audience behind us. So that was the catalyst, and it's been fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I know that that's still in the works. That's coming. That dream is coming to fruition very soon. But a lot of people talk about spirits, but your approach seems a little different. So, what was missing in the spirits conversation that made you want to kind of, gear into, I guess you would say, whiskey education or liquor education?
Yeah, so we lean heavy on spirit education. We also do reviews. The education piece was missing for us. People are like, oh, this whiskey's 10 out of 10. Oh, this drink is this. And we're like, well, what about vodka? What about rum? Why can't we talk about them all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to your point, they didn't get into the weeds of the spirits like we do. We kind of nerd out on this stuff for the viewers who haven't seen us. If you check our channel out, we're going to go over not only price point, but mash bill, basically the ingredients that make up the spirit you're consuming, who the makers are, who the distiller is, who the master blender is, the founders, where they're located, whether or not they have tasting rooms, all that good stuff to make it more approachable. Because I mean, these people really put a lot of hard work into that bottle. Every last one of them that we've met has done the work.
Yeah, our goal is to educate people from grain to glass. How does it get to me? Let's find somebody in every aspect of the industry and teach them about it.
Yeah. So who do you feel wasn't really spoken to in, as far as consumption?
Well, no one ever taught us how to drink. So really speaking to a lot of people, but definitely that 25 to 45 crowd that's transitioning out of, that college phase of shot. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to, let's make that transition nice. Let's experience alcohol positively. Let's drink to remember, not to forget.
Yeah.
And learn about what we like as we drink alcohol and make memories with some of our favorite people.
Okay. That sounds good. And how have you dealt with the trend or the decline, it seems, as far as that age bracket not drinking as much? What are they leaning towards?
They're leaning towards mocktails. And we've actually done a couple of interviews. We did Madam Mocktail earlier this year.
That was a good one.
So we're branching out to offer those non-alcoholic beverage options. We've also done Uncle Waifleys, a ginger beer. And so that's kind of our way. We do in-home and virtual tastings. We're going to start offering a non-alcoholic version, playing around with maybe some non-alcoholic bitters and things like that to give that same experience that you would have drinking without the being, drunk. So.
Yeah. And people are looking for something different, but they don't want to be excluded. Yeah. So, I mean, for whatever reason that folks are not drinking, whether they're just like, hey, health reasons, whatever it is, we don't want to push them out of the fold. We want them to have their options too. And many of the bars have already stepped up and done this. So their menu is already in there. And so we should speak to that. Like, hey, I know, and people are looking at alternatives, the other stuff.
And sometimes you just don't want to drink all night. So you might have a couple of glasses of, or a couple of old fashions, and then you might want a couple of mocktails to finish off the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that for the most part, I'm hoping that people are seeing that age bracket, as you said, not pushing them away, but looking towards them and seeing what they want. Because for some reason, it makes me think that like, oh no, all they just want to do is smoke weed. They don't want to, they don't want to do anything else. And I've seem to be more leaning towards they really just want the mocktail instead of just like, they're not all potheads. And I think that's like that negative connotation to it. And I had to kind of really like talk to these young people and see what they're really asking for. So that's great. So let's talk about your liquor library.
Yeah.
Tell people what the liquor library is.
The liquor library, I believe, is now over 200 bottles that we have purchased or been given.
Yes. Curated over many years. I have some great friends that gift bottles. She has some great friends that gift bottles. And then attending Whiskey University has helped us build up our portfolio. We're branching out now more than we ever have in that space. Yeah. And it's heavily curated.
It used to be in order like tequilas, whiskeys, gin and vodka. Now it's just kind of like wherever it can fit.
Yeah, where can things fit? We're trying to keep it reasonable for what's in frame here, but it's in shambles.
If we hit bathroom alcohol, we know we've gone too far.
Yeah, we're keeping it off of the coffee table at the moment. So
yeah, so I guess I'm dwindling down on my liquor library as much. But yeah, that's basically the liquor library is what's behind you. It's all these chapters and verses of exclusive titles.
Yeah.
That's
Every week we pull a book off the shelf.
Yeah.
AKA a bottle.
Yeah, we would when we go to the liquor store for our classes, and I'd pick up a few options to taste and nose and go over. And they'd be like, hey, you having a party tonight? I'm like, actually, these are my books for class. And they're like, what school do you go to? And I tell them, and they're like, that's for real? I'm like, yeah, it's actually very real. Very real. You're actually looking us up, you probably see the degrees that we're earning. But it's been a great experience. And yeah, it's definitely helped build all of that.
But you also mentioned Whiskey University. So Whiskey University, that's a thing.
It's an online school. Colonel Craig Duncan out of Tennessee, he is one of the founding members. This is taken off so much in the last, I think it's been around for 4 or 5 years.
Yes, and it's picked up a ton.
They offer 139 classes, 10 majors. The first 5 classes are free. So you can actually get your certificate in rye, bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, Canadian whiskey.
Yes. And
have a good time. If you want to keep going, the tuition's not that bad. I think it was like for the associates, maybe a couple $100, and then you pay for your Bachelor of Arts, Special Science, and then you do your Master of Arts and Master of Science. So I think we've done all this for probably less than $1,500.
Okay.
So the cost is in the books.
Yeah, the cost is in the books, all these books. We had a nice head start. So for those who are totally green, it may be a little bit more uphill. But the cool thing about the community, and we've learned this, we've known this before we even started into the university, is that people in the whiskey space or just in the alcohol space in general are so willing to give and share stuff with you. And so you may receive a gift or a little book to kind of get you through. That way you can actually engage in the class. And so even not only the students, but the professors in the class are like, hey, I know this is not in your area. If you need some help getting some of these books, let me know, and I can make sure you can have a nice flight for the class on Tuesday. And you're just like, wow, really? You just do that? Yeah. And so they'll get you set up, and you're ready to go for class, and you can go over the tasting notes. It's awesome to hear what everybody gets out of the deal.
And I laugh because our collection is very small in comparison.
Oh yeah, this is a very, very small collection compared to the people who have been collecting for many, 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 many years. Building it up.
Okay, that sounds awesome. That really sounds awesome. I'm wondering. Well, I know there's other certifications, but I've never heard of Whiskey University, so I'm gonna have to check that out and look into that. That'd be something.
I'll send you a certificate for your first 5 classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. I need some I guess like not dusting it off, because I haven't really done a lot of being a beer ambassador here lately. I haven't done a lot of stuff. And so I feel like the knowledge that I have is kind of dusty. It just needs a little dusting off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this would be good for that. And
yeah,
for the viewers, those who may not drink, I mean, there's probably a small percentage of you out there who view this show that don't, but there are several in the class that do not drink, and they like the history component and they love the education component, which is a part of what we try to do.
There's a whole major in history.
Yeah, there's a whole major just in whiskey history where you get all of it, all over the world.
The backstories are just lovely.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really deeply ingrained. You get to learn a whole lot about your state, the United States, and the world as a whole when it comes to whiskey, and it's awesome.
And if you don't want to take the class, we offer tasting, so we go into some of that in-depth knowledge that we learn as well to teach people on their own time.
Yeah.
Now, where do y'all hail? Where are y'all from, or what state are you in currently?
Right? We are in Oklahoma.
Okay.
We just up the street.
Yeah, I didn't know we was that close. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you feature bottles at different price points. Why is it important to do that? And how do you push back on expensive means it's better?
Oh man, I mean, that's true. It's that myth that if it costs more, it must taste better, and we're like, no, that's not true. And so that's why we do the smaller price points, because it's like, let's do a blind. Let's put this $25 bottle against the $75 bottle and see what you think.
Oh yeah,
those are fun.
And then to find out real quickly that some of those bottles that are hundreds of dollars, they just have lots of marketing behind them, and it may be lower quality than bottles that are half that price, and that has been the case a lot when it comes to a certain agave spirit. And so we try to teach ahead of that so people can be more informed, and the consumer is more informed now than they ever were. There's lots of folks who are like us, enthusiasts and connoisseurs, who are just like, oh yeah, I know better than that. I know when that commercial comes on, I know what that is. I know that, and not to bash all the celebrity stuff, but I mean, there's a component to that where it's marketing, and it's used to push a product at a higher price, make it premium because this person is standing behind it. But more and more consumers are starting to see right through that, and they're like, well, who actually makes it?
And then we also teach about smoothness and burn. So a lot of times you get, oh, this burns. That's just a Kentucky hug. Go away. And then there's also, it burns, but is it really a burn, or is it more of a peppery note?
Yeah.
Right.
Many spirits have that, especially if they have a rye component. And the mash bill can definitely give you spicy notes.
And smoothness doesn't always mean great as well.
Correct.
Something could be covering the natural flavors of that spirit.
And sale volume does not mean quality either. Just check with certain fast food restaurants on that one. I would definitely strongly suggest the consumer look for craft spirits, small, micro, nano. Those are people that are, I mean, they're hand labeling the bottles. They're filling them themselves. They spent several years getting a product and paying taxes the whole way.
Yeah.
And they're looking for a break in a foothold, and they know what they have is better than what you see in a commercial. They just can't pay for those. So we've kind of made it a mission to look for these, like, well, I wonder who else makes them, and finding out that you've got, what is it, 14 or so distilleries here in Oklahoma. Yeah. I mean, that number, I mean, you think, well, they couldn't have no more than maybe one or two. And it's like, no, we have several big ones. And then there's other smaller ones. And it's like, wow, I didn't know they had it. So when you find out how many are in your area, if you happen to be in Texas or Kansas or in these markets that you wouldn't think do whiskey, or you wouldn't think they do even an agave spirit, they're probably doing it. You just don't know who they are because they can't afford to be on your TV.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they're in those little mom and pop shops that they've gotten that rapport where they're able to put some stuff on the shelf, come and do a demo here and there. And it's like swimming with the sharks trying to get to the big box stores.
Yes.
You can get eaten up, alive, and there's no one there to really assist with your product. They just kind of like, okay, it's gonna be on the bottom shelf, and good luck to you.
Yeah, distribution is a huge hurdle for craft spirits. To get the attention of these distributors, who are basically, as one of my friends put it, they're the UPS person. They just take your product, drop it off, and that's it. Where's my marketing? I don't live in your state. I can't always be there in your state. So where's my representation?
Right. Let me see. Think back. What was the greatest, don't sleep on this bottle? Ooh. Do y'all remember one?
We probably got a few.
Well, okay, I'll go about it this way. I'll pick a couple of different types.
Okay.
What for rum, I would say don't sleep on Murmur. You need to go get that one. Black owned, coconut,
naturally flavored coconut.
Natural coconut, beautiful pink color to it, beautiful bottle presentation, and it's really good juice. It pairs well with friends. It pairs well with good music, great vibes, the beach, and even a cigar. It just does it. In the whiskey space, New Dawn, you definitely can't sleep on that. If you're looking for something cash strength, I mean, no frills. This is for bourbon drinkers. It is for wheat whiskey drinkers, because she has a couple of expressions, and a rye is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I love agave spirit. So I would say one of the things we tried that was really great, it wasn't a tequila, it wasn't a mezcal, it was bacanora.
That was a ride.
A lot of people don't know what bacanora is. It's another type of agave spirit that has its own designation of origin within Mexico. And we tried Kalinga bacanora.
Yes. Don't sleep on that. If you see it, just pick it up. Just trust me and go find the episode. Pick it up. It's not all about tequila. I know that is the biggest one out right now, and it has been, and there's a whole lot of little brothers. Mezcal would probably be number 2, and everything else is like 50th.
And then another thing, absinthe is coming back. So our local distillery, Woodworks, makes an absinthe. There's also Absinthia down in New Orleans who makes an absinthe. That's
quality product right there.
Got 4 different types of absinthe.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was just there, but I don't think I would be searching out for absinthe. I've had it once.
That's the most lied about spirit of them all.
Yeah. And people who don't like that taste, it's really hard. Like if you're not the kind of like a star anise licorice type of flavor, but it has pumped up several cocktails.
Well, originally it was used in the Sazerac.
Yes, and you can still get it with the Sazeracs, and it just adds something special. And when you get a quality one, you'll see what it's supposed to be. I think what happened to us is, one, it wasn't very many options when we first started trying absinthe. This was, I don't know, I want to date myself too bad, but several years ago. And I was like, oh, this is like the only bottle on the shelf. And it looks like they're already hallucinating. Maybe the rumors are true. And so we picked it up, and I was like, nah, not for me. It was very, very strong and pungent, and
medicine.
Yeah, medicinal for sure. It's
not the medicinal like we like to talk about. Yeah. Medicinal. But if you try absenthia, if you try Woodworks absinthe, they're totally different than what you expect. Okay. The whole thing with absinthe and the hallucinations was started by the wine industry. And it was a way to get people to go back to wine. Wine had a bad year, so people started drinking absinthe. They didn't like that once the crops came back, so they would say people went crazy, throwing them in an asylum, and then give them a bottle of wine when they go home.
Yeah, it was a giant smear campaign, one of the most successful ones in the alcohol industry.
Wow.
It was very successful.
Yeah, there's not enough of any ingredient in there to make you hallucinate.
No, that rumor still lasts. It still works.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, don't have too much. It was like, it was like basically you can have some, but don't have too much because there's no telling what you're gonna do.
I tell you, if you're not ready for straight absinthe, I had a great cocktail. It was made with green tea. I can't remember what else they put in there, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely try it again. As far as like a cocktail, I think I would try it again. The licorice is very forward facing, so it's I'm not big on licorice, but I can see it being in a cocktail, giving some depth to it that would be pleasing. So I'll
look up absenthia. Find her.
Absenthia.
She is the green fairy. Yeah, go find her. She's the one. You get it right.
So let's talk about mindful drinking. So mindful drinking is pretty much the core of what you do. When did you personally start thinking differently about the relationship with alcohol?
Oh, for me, it was marrying this guy. His family is alcohol positive. Mine is alcohol negative. And what I mean is my family overdoes it. They overindulge with the drinking and negative things happen. Whereas in Roger's family, they drink and you're like, wow, it's been 12 hours and nobody's fought yet. Still like each other?
Yeah, everybody's just fine.
We're
just having good food.
Yeah.
Beautiful music. I mean, it's very picturesque. It's a good time. And so the phrase drink to remember not to forget, I mean, it's kind of for those who've never heard it before, I can see how it would be kind of jarring. It's like drink to remember. It's like, yeah, because most people are drinking to forget something. They're drinking because of a bad time. They're drinking because of tragedy of sorts. And we're like, well, that's the wrong time to go there.
Yeah.
In fact, I strongly advise against that. If you are going to consume, it should be celebratory. It should be with friends and family that you love, and it should be a good time. And you should know what you're consuming.
Yes.
Who made it, where it came from. Check in with the Liquor Connoisseur and several others, and that way you can learn more about what you're having, and it amplifies the spirit when you know, oh man, this is handcrafted. I know who the distiller is. I went there and took a tour. Now the bottle means something, and it's a story that actually goes right along with the fellowship, and that's what this should all be about.
Right, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Every bottle has a story, and it makes that communal kind of surrounding with people drinking that bottle, makes it even more richer by knowing where it came from, who did this, how, what kind of ancestry is added to it. It makes it really important, really very, very special. But I wanted to also ask you, I see that y'all were sipping on some. What are y'all sipping on tonight?
Well, that is a wonderful question. Go ahead.
Well, you are getting a first look into our brand. It is finally coming true. It's called Perspection. We have an apple crisp gin and a strawberry coconut vodka.
I'm having the gin right now.
And I've got the vodka. And we are using Vanessa Braxton of GB Distillers out of Long Island. She's the first African-American woman distiller in the US. And she was like, you can't come to me with something that's already there. You got to come to me with something different. She is a master at using natural flavors and extracts. And so we gave her these flavors. She was like, okay. She went, did her thing. I'm going to send you 3 samples. I already know you're going to like number 2 on this one, number 2 on this one. I was like, yeah, okay, Vanessa. We taste them. Vanessa was right.
Yeah, it took us a while, like some days. We were like, she can't be right. This can't be this easy. And we go back and forth and we're trying these different blends. And I mean, she must be a master blender too. And we get back to it and she's like, yeah, this is going to be the one. This is very well balanced. And I'm like, it is. And it is delicious.
So we made these with the beginner in mind. A lot of people, when they start, it starts with vodka. It starts with the flavored vodka. So we wanted to make something natural that was smooth. RTDs are in. This is not an RTD, but you can call it one because it's that smooth. You can drink it straight out the bottle. Or we have
on the rocks.
Or on the rocks. Or we do have 6 recipes on our website, perspectionspirits.com. With the gin is a sin. We all know, oh, that's going to burn. That's going to put hair on my chest. That we all don't like it. It's Christmas in a glass pine. Well, we went with more of a Western style gin. So it's more citrusy because of the apple crisp flavor. You're going to get that apple note in there. And it's like a green apple Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And this works so well. Like the vodka is more of the summer spirit. Mm-hmm. This works well in the summer. And then because of the apple component, you can bring it into the fall and the winter. If you want to pump it up with some cinnamon or maybe the like apple cider type of vibe, this goes well with that. Teas. I mean, it's a monster in tea.
And to speak a little bit more on that strawberry coconut, that coconut gives you a creamy, viscous mouthfeel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
It stays with you.
Mm-hmm.
So when will we expect bottles in or being able to purchase?
Yeah, so we are working on that right now. So we're looking to start selling online next month.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I saw the ad and that was in Beer News probably like a couple of months ago. So I was like, okay, I remember we had talked about that, but I didn't know it is here. It is almost here.
Yes. We're looking at, we've got distribution in New York that we're waiting to come out in, and then we're about to have distribution in Illinois, and then we're working right now for next month to launch on our site so people can purchase.
Awesome. That's excellent.
Well, you can sign up on our website to learn more about our launch. But yeah, it's coming soon.
Okay. So want to talk a little bit more about education. So why do you think learning the history and culture and science of spirits is important that will change the way people drink?
That's a really great question. I think it's important because we're becoming more educated as consumers. We need to know what we're putting into our bodies. We need to know what we like. And so I find it very important. I think also taking that time to slow down and learn, you can appreciate it more when you're drinking it. So if I know, oh man, Vanessa made this, it took 5 hours. She crafted it. This was the science behind it. This is how she distilled it at this temp. I'm going to appreciate this more than, just pour me another shot. Just give me whatever. But if I know the history behind it, I'm going to appreciate it more. And I'm going to take my time and really try to understand that craft and what went into it and appreciate it as I drink it.
Yeah.
Because it really is a science. And it's amazing to see how it comes together from those grains to the glass.
It's so close. Some of the first initial steps are the same as far as like making beer. Mm-hmm. So I get it. Definitely get it.
Yeah, BC before child, we brewed beer for a little bit.
Yeah. So we got the first steps. We just didn't get to distill it, but yeah, we got there.
So what do you think, what would you like drinkers to know more about? What one thing, like, I really wish new drinkers would know this off the bat.
You could go right after this. It's right next door to you, and that these people, they're not just in Kentucky, they're not just in New York, they're not just in California. They are literally your neighbors, and they're building the economy up. they're trying their best to source quality ingredients locally if they can. And for the ones that are doing that and really grain the glass in this one area, it's going to help that community thrive. And it's really up to that community to say, hey, we got to champion this, because this, I mean, they're bringing in festivals. They're boosting the economy every summer when they have this event, or in the spring when they have this event. That funds for teachers. And I mean, there's so much stuff that we hear about, and using their spent grain for cattle. And I mean, it's so entrenched and ingrained in the economy as a whole that we just overlook it like, oh, they're just making a product and that's just all that they do. And it's like, no, that's not all that they do. Like they're the reason why that apiary got more hives, because they're using the honey to put over here and do this. And then they're the reason why they're producing more grain over here, because they're consuming this grain at a higher rate now, and it's helping the farmers. And I wish that the average consumer realized just how broad the scope and breadth of these distillers and blenders and brands, how broad that is, and that they're right next to you. They're in every state. They're in several cities in every state, and they're probably the reason why that festival works, why that barbecue works, the reason why you have so much cattle. They're probably the reason, or big reason behind that. So I wish more consumers knew that.
I wish more consumers knew not to be afraid of proof. A lot of times it's like, oh, that's too high for me. Oh, 100 proof. That's where the flavor starts, because they're proofing it down with water to get it down to 80%. And so I wish people wouldn't be as afraid. Now, I'm not saying you got to drink it straight, but just put a little ice cube in, put a few drops of water in, and try it that way and proof it down yourself, so you can see what proof point you actually can handle. Because this isn't something you just handle overnight. You got to work your way up, build your tolerance for it. But don't be afraid of it. Just step your way back down gradually to get to the proof point you like.
And to that point, we've seen it happen almost every time we do a tasting. There is something smoother, less burn, but it's got more alcohol in it. And they're like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, well, that's because it just happens to have more flavor that balances that out, and it's a little older, so it's mellowed it out a whole lot more. And that's probably why that is a smoother spirit, but it has more alcohol in it. And you're like, well, it's over 5,000. It's like, yeah, I know it's 115 proof. Well, it's smoother than the 40%. Yeah, it can be smoother than the 80. And so smoothness is not just less alcohol. And that is a big myth there, that people are like, well, number went past 100. That's got to be terrible. It's like, well, not everything is 1-to-1 with Everclear or something like that. Not everything's like that.
Yes, I've had a lot of pushbacks. I was like, oh, this is like, it was a small batch, but it was like 118 or something like that. And they were like, oh, no. But then when they finally had it, they're like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, give it a chance.
The biggest pushback we get is tequila. Oh, no, I can't. Ever since college, I'm like, this ain't the tequila we had in college. We've been actually taste the agave.
Yeah. I know the bottle you had in college. It came in a plastic bottle, and it was squishy, and it was less than $15.
Yeah.
For a half a gallon. I see why it hurt so much.
So I know that y'all told me y'all were a little bit busy before we came on. So tell me what were y'all busy doing? What's going on?
What were we doing? Let's see. We had a vendor booth at Whiskey Fest, so we sold T-shirts there and promoted our tastings. Last weekend we were at Norman Music Fest. We hosted a tasting there for their VIP lounge. Actually, we had 2 tastings.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was incredible. We hope to go back there next year. And then we picked up beekeeping.
Yes. So we've adopted thousands of bees.
Got 2 hives.
Yeah, 2 hives, thousands of bees. Let me emphasize that. And for some reason, neither one of us have been stung yet. I guess we just keep getting lucky.
As long as we feed them, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I have not put on a suit yet. My suit just came in. I've been playing around with no suit, but I'm good now. So
But
I'm gonna be less fearful.
But we plan to not only sell honey, but we love to do some experiments. We've got some mini barrels that we love to do, maybe some honey finish casking. Or
that would be really nice to have our own honey
Yeah,
for that.
maybe have
that
some
would
bourbon
be really
honey.
Who knows? We're gonna do it all now that we have them. So looking forward to this.
Well, another when you're talking about that, that makes me think of a friend of the show called the Barreled Bee.
Okay.
Cannot think of her name, but it's a barreled bee, and she makes her infused honey, and she does a lot of beekeeping as well. So that might be somebody that you want to reach out to and just
we need
chat
all
with.
Yeah, we're only 2 weeks in, so
yeah, we're very new.
So that would be cool. But I'm glad that you got the suit, because I believe you're gonna need the suit.
She's had hers. She's been good.
Yeah, I got mine. I've been in the hive.
Yeah, she's been over there. I'm just now dipping my toe in, just a little bit.
Okay, but that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome to see that. And it's an art that people don't think about, the need for bees and how important they are to our world. So y'all have a big task ahead of you. Y'all need to keep these bees safe.
We do. We didn't realize they're considered livestock.
Yeah. So we got livestock now.
But we're also cocktails are big again. So we're also creating we have a 16-bed garden that we're getting ready to start. And so with that, we'll be able to put fresh herbs in our cocktails and things like that. So our goal this year is to learn how to make drinks.
Yeah. It's been a goal for a while, and we're actually going to focus on this one and actually make it look presentable. We have a lot of good coaches in that area, and they're just like, oh, poor kids. We'll get you there eventually.
So for sections, cocktails look great because we used a bartender at Woodworks named Abby.
Thank
Elliot,
you, Abby.
who helped put those together. We did not make those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are y'all there?
Yeah.
I think I got a glitch.
Look like froze for a second.
Yeah, we got a glitch. The one of the best experiences that I had was going to this distillery, and they were like, okay, they were making a cocktail. He was like, I'll be right back. I was like, where is he going? He went to the front of the garden to pick out the thyme and the basil.
Oh yeah.
And that was like, wow. And it was so refreshing, so amazing. So kudos to y'all for getting that started, because that does make that's definitely a game changer.
Fresh ingredients. We'll change it next morning too.
Yes, having fresh, real ingredients makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So that morning after is not nearly as aggressive.
Let's see. Well, talking about your podcast, you may not know, you may remember. Was there any episode that just really stood out to you that you just like, I will always remember this episode?
I think our episode that we just recently did with Big Trumba, with Trumba Tequila.
Yes.
Tequila Trumba.
Yeah, Tequila Trumba. We call it Big Trumba because of the bottle that she showed.
They premiered a 3.75 liter bottle on our episode. I mean, it makes 65 margaritas. It's so big.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was really fun.
Because she was like, oh, friends, I gotta show you something. And we're like,
and she's like,
yeah, we're just like, we couldn't believe it.
She had the pour spout in there and everything. It was so funny. It's
wow.
So that was a big moment. Another fun moment was when we had Dawn from New Dawn. We got her bottle and we waited till we interviewed her to try it. So we tried it straight in her face.
Yeah, she did not expect that. She thought we had already tried it and we were just going to talk about it. It's like, no, this is a fresh crack. She's like, oh. I think, to quote her, oh, Lord. Yeah, I think that's how they went. Oh, Lord. Like, I didn't know what's going on. I was like, we're going to find out. And it's delicious.
Yeah, Dr. Dawn, she be hustling. She be in the streets.
Yeah.
Talking about New Dawn all the time.
But you know what? It's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
makes some mean cocktails.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man, is she a bartender? I'm about to ask her because she already has stuff together and makes it look nice. And yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to her. Um, let's see. So I was going to ask you, um, let's talk about, I don't know why I'm trying to lose my voice. So um, we're talking about origins. So how often does flavor and the origin conversation turns into a discussion of culture and identity? How often do you see that?
Mm.
Hmm. Um, I think a good example of that would probably be the Delta Dirt.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that is such a great story, having the farmland in the family for
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah. Started as sharecroppers.
Starting as
Mhm.
sharecroppers, and it is true grain to glass. They make vodka, gin. Is it a bourbon? I know it's a whiskey that they make. We've been trying to get our hands on it every time it sells out, so I know it must be good. But I believe we've reviewed the gin and the vodka. They've got a sweet potato vodka, and just something new like that coming. Black-owned company, black brand. Uh, that's doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're making their own stuff and they're doing something different, and it's beautiful. That's probably a bigger one for me. I'm not sure if you have another better example, but
No, I
yeah.
think that's great. What I love seeing is how open the industry is. I didn't realize, I think Lazar said from Taste of Black Spirits had mentioned there's over 500 Black brands out there.
Mhm.
And when I go to my local store, I see less than 5, sometimes less than 3.
Yeah.
And so to know that all these brands exist, I need to find them. That's our goal, is to interview not just craft, but also Black owned spirits. We did a lot last year. We did Du Nord.
Yeah.
Who else?
That's a
Oh,
wee.
man.
He's doing so that apple one.
Loft and Bear.
Loft and Bear.
That was a great one. So there are a lot of Black stories out there to be told that we need to go out there and get them.
Yeah, and another great example, Jackie.
Oh,
with Sorrel. That's first black distiller, licensed distiller in America. Black history, like he's a living legend, and I think we have to tell that story until the kids are telling the story. It's like you don't have to be a consumer of this product to learn the history and the struggle and what it took. 300 plus attempts to come up with something shelf stable,
that honors his legacy.
That honors his legacy, and it's deeply entrenched and ingrained in the family. Those in the Caribbean that know what sorrel is, and to have a spirit like Sorrel to showcase it, like that's somebody I want the kids to write about. Like, write about him right now, and while you can talk about it, write about him. And the people who, even like Vanessa, first Black woman. Yes, if you want to talk about a Black woman in this space, talk about Vanessa Braxton. That, like, seriously, like, speak about her.
She makes them all the spirits.
She makes pretty much every spirit out there. She has her own agave spirit. She has her own, like,
whiskey.
She's done brandy. I mean, she's done all of this, and it's like, where are the people that talking about our people, like the ones who are really in here doing it, and they've been doing it behind the scenes for forever, like, but just getting really recognized for it from a legal standpoint in the past 12 to 15 years or so.
I mean, as we see with Uncle Nearest, we've been left out of history.
We've been left out.
Yeah.
And we've got to stop that while we have these living legends right now. And there's more of them. Like, I can't name them all right now, but there's more of them. And you're like, really? It's like, yeah, man, they think it it stopped and started with Uncle Nearest because it's the biggest story out there,
Mhm.
and it has been. And that is a great story, and it's awesome. We have some really awesome people out there right now that have a product on the shelves, and if it's not, you need to ask for it. If it's not in your bars, you need to ask for it. Like, I think the next phase of the education of the consumer is to know what to ask for. So looking at channels like ours, looking at channels like yours, you're seeing these brands and you're like, I know I need to ask for Uncle Wakeley's ginger beer. It's the best ginger beer in the world. Why does my store not have it? And
Mhm.
then eventually it will be
Mhm.
at your local Whole Foods.
And
It
then-
will be at your local
And until
store.
then, you have stores like was it Happy Cork in Brooklyn
Mhm.
that sell a lot of Black-owned brands. And then online, you have Your Friend Charles.
Your friend Charles is
Yes.
doing good work getting these brands out here and having a online presence for them. We need more of that. We can't have enough of it because we don't see it in our stores, especially in our area.
Mhm.
Right, right. Yeah, we have a Black-owned liquor store here that just pretty much highlights all the Black brands, and people are still like, "Oh, I didn't know that existed,"
Mhm.
and just be able they do tastings and everything. So yeah, it's like we need that little bit of that little corner of the world to be open up to all consumers to let them know that that's more than those three that you see at the big box stores. There's a
Mhm.
lot to choose from.
Yes.
And I think but I think they're going to have like Tales of the Cocktail, and then there's another like conference meeting thing that they have this with all the liquors that I've always wanted to go to and just see them and talk to them and stuff. But yeah,
And another one that's us. Taste of Black Spirits.
that's the one. That's the one I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Taste of
Taste
Black
Black
Spirits
Spirits.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, we first went in New York. We made so many wonderful. That's how we got connected. One of the ways we got connected was Vanessa. We got to meet
Correct.
her through that. We met so many brand owners there. I think it was like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
So we tried vodka.
Yeah.
That was fun. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. It's just the name gets me every time. Was it John Lee Hooker? We met
Awesome
Glenn,
story
his
there.
grandson, and we've had him on the show to tell that story. It's such a community, and if you haven't been, I suggest going.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
good trip.
Okay. So my last question, basically, representation matters. So, how intentional are you about highlighting Black-owned brands or overlooked contributions in the spirits?
Oh man, we love to promote Black brands. I'm actually gonna have to get on Your Friend Charles and go order some more. I think we had a whole month, and it wasn't even February that we had.
Yeah, we don't intentionally just
Yeah.
bombard February with stuff. We feel like it should be sprinkled throughout the whole year because it's so many brands and so many people in the space, whether they have a brand or not, that are the reason why that cocktail is so good. They're the reason why you have distribution over here because this representative is making that happen. We're trying to reach everybody, from the farmers to the distillers to the master blenders, brand ambassadors. We've
Yeah.
spoken to some of them, and these people are trying to get the message out. We think it is so important because in the valleys for these brands is real deep and dark, because you may see some Instagram posts and it's like, my man doing good, my girl doing good, they making it happen. It's like, okay. And then like 2 or 3 months down the road, it's rough because we're very seasonal and cyclical with how we purchase. And for the brands that already have a strong foothold and they're moving millions of cases, their low may be something that you won't achieve in the next 30 years as a high because their volume is so high. And you'll look at a small brand, if they can move 10 cases this week. I mean, they're excited. So that you've got to really pay attention and look for those smaller brands, especially Black owned brands, especially Black women owned brands, and just buy, like when they say clear the shelves or buy it up, go do it. Like hurry up as soon as you find out that your friend is making that leap, because it's a big leap.
Big leap.
It's a huge leap.
What I think is missing is, yeah, you make it or you buy it as your brand. That's a cost. Then you got to give a piece of that profit to a distributor. Then they take a piece of what they bought it from you, and they upsell it to the retailer.
Yeah. And you still hadn't paid for advertising yet.
Yeah. And you've already lost 25, 35%.
Yeah. You hadn't paid for sales force yet. So it's a lot involved. I mean, these people are making, pennies on a bottle, and you're thinking, oh man, they have a brand, or, like now that looking at it from both sides, it's like, nah, when you see it, you need to get it, because spoiler alert, there have been several brands in trouble financially, going out of business, all that good stuff, and they're small. Lots of them are small, and they may never come back without a whole lot of help. And then on the other end, you have big brands who are just being bought out. They're selling out for millions of dollars, some billions of dollars, and so you've got the big guys just eating away at all of the competition, and the little guys are just dying off on the other end. So it's becoming a monopoly of sorts that you have to be intentional and fight against as a consumer, and say, I'm going to support the little guy. I'm looking for micro, nano, the small guy, wherever. Who is the smallest person on your shelf? I want that one. And you literally have to push it like that.
Yeah. And one of the things that we're not afraid to do at times is to promote. We may run an ad for a clip just to get more exposure out there for a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's so important. And I thank you for being that voice for those products that are out there that are really good, that need to be sought out and need to be found. And I know that's what we try to do here at Being Black and Craft as well. So we just have to keep fighting a good fight.
Yeah. And a lot of times in our community, we get stuck. Well, my granddaddy drank this.
Yeah.
My daddy drank this.
And it's not because it was good. It's because of the memory.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
memory that it made you feel.
And we want to create new ones, better ones. That's what I want. If it's, my kids in the few later down the road, or grandkids, and they're like, yeah, my mother and father, my grandfather, and my grandmother, they actually met Jackie, and he made sorrel, and this is really awesome. They knew the guy. You hear these stories about, grandmother met that person, or that, like, we're meeting these legends. We need that story to be carried forward, and that product needs to still be available. Our goal is for those products to still be available 100 years from now, so that these brands, the makers, the ambassadors, and all of that, they can be talked about for generations. Because I mean, just like any other huge brand that you can name that has been around for 100 plus years, has had generations of that have been able to see that on the shelves. Like, that's a testament to the work. However tough it was for them to get there, and whatever they had to do to make it happen, we have to be equally as intentional for the brands that we know deserve it. So I feel like that should be the goal. Like, if you still want to see it, patronize it. That restaurant that closed, that was your favorite, there was a reason for that. You hadn't been there in 6 months. Don't do that to these people, so you don't have to have that experience again.
Absolutely. That's real talk. Definitely real talk. Having and establishing legacy through drinking, through the spirits, is important. And I see that y'all are doing that, and y'all will continue to do that. Now tell the people where they can find you on the socials and how to make sure that they get a hold of the new products that you have coming up.
Yeah, so you can find us. We have our website, the liquorconnoisseur.com, where you can get great merch from the store. We have shirts that say meat. We have shirts around the Liquor Connoisseur. We have our regular logo shirts. We're on all socials at the Liquor Connoisseur, so Instagram, TikTok. You can find our episodes on YouTube and Spotify, as well as Apple, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. For our brand new baby, the twins, we call them, for Perspection, you can go to perspectionspirits.com, and we're on Instagram right now at Perspection Spirits. And soon we'll have merch available for it as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it was amazing talking to you both, Crystal and Roger. I really appreciate the conversation and the education of what you're bringing as far as in the spirit world, and getting people up to date and getting them together to enjoy liquor. It's not a daunting thing. It's not something that you have to run away from. You can really enjoy the sip, the swirl, the sniff, swirl, the sip, everything. So thank you so much. And I guess we'll be back next week. Because next week is my holiday. It's May the 4th be with you.
All right.
I'm very elated.
Okay.
So we have a great guest that day. But thank you again. Thank you for everyone that's watched Being Black in Craft, or We Don't Apologize for Recognizing Our Influence on Liquor. And I guess we will go ahead and head on out.